Today is still October 15th, 2023. Oh my God. I went to Trinity Gospel and some ladies come in and we had went up front and they came in and sat down. And we told them they better never say a word. We had someone look her up. She is an informant. And there was that FBI agent there. They were talking. Okay? She is an informant. They've already taped those kids saying they were lying. And all those people, when they talked to them, they defended her. They already interviewed him a long time ago. Nobody better say a word. And these people need to realize who they brought here and what they've done. They brought Satan himself. I want you to realize that. They brought hell here. I want you to think of that. During the case, where in the last tape that I was telling you, in 18, they said there was a king taking care of me. Okay? And he had his men here. And they showed up and they were scary. Very scary. Some of them were 300 pounds, white, black eyes, or dark brown eyes, and long black wavy hair. And they had a fleet of other men that work with them. And we are, how they describe themselves, we are the men that work for the king. We are the king's men. Okay? The king left his men here to watch her. Okay? And that's how they describe themselves. They talked about them around the Ravenna courthouse. Heard some lady drive by tonight while I was out. They found a tape of them saying that. Oh, yeah, they said it quite a bit. Quite a bit. And they told people who they were. Okay? And they were from Texas. I Googled what drug dealer is referred to as a king. There was a fentanyl king just arrested in March. Okay? Yeah, and he's into malware, the dark web. He's a hacker. And doing drugs from California clear to North Carolina. Was a big drug scam here. Okay? In 18 and 19, especially 19, people were okay. Most Americans are not one nationality. We're a combination of nationalities that filter down, okay? And we just become different nationality. We're just Americans. We're a little bit of a lot of things. My family is Scott and Irish. My family is also French. And one of my great-grandfathers was a native Indian. Okay? And then my father's side was a German Jew. Okay? My father wasn't practicing, but he was Jewish descent. That's why a lot of my family had the black hair, the dark eyes. And then there's me, oddball out. But they would insult me and insult me here, even in town. That little Jewish girl thinks she can play any kind of music like that because I like some Christian songs. And a lot of times they're just even on Christian station, The Fish. They'll have half English, half Jewish, and or where I taught even my children a small little song, just a little bit of heritage. it doesn't hurt to know where you came from, okay? Because it's part of you. That little Hebrew girl thinks she can listen to any kind of music like that. That little Hebrew girl, that little Jewish girl, and how stupid I was. Had all kinds of people call me stupid and an idiot for being a Jewish girl. I'm a practicing Christian. And they would call me names. And they would mock me. Matter of fact, in like January, February of 19, in Macy's, I walk in. There's some African American men at the clone counter. Some guy said we weren't allowed to help her because she's got a little bit of Hebrew blood in her. And some guys run around trying to get people to help protect her while she's out. And asking people to help protect her while she's out. And that guy's telling everybody because she's got a little bit of Hebrew blood in her, no one's to help her. And these nice African American men, they said, we don't care if she's got a little Hebrew blood in her. Not one of us do. And a lot of the people that were just even private citizens that would show up to make sure I was okay when I was out were African American. Okay? Well, the guy that's a fentanyl king is from Iran. Some guy went to leave Trinity Gospel. I've been reading everything she wrote. These people need to realize what they've done here and what they've let happen. And if there was Muslim women involved in this, was Hamas. With what they're pulling over there, was there any of that brought here? Now I want you to think, these drug traders that are human trafficking, publicly raped, publicly human trafficked, and sold videos of somebody of Jewish descent that they hated because of my heritage. And they were hired to do it. And raped and tortured and made a public display of somebody that they hated even for their descent. Think about that. And then the African American people, where they're taking them, where my friend that had a friend in the police department, they were taking him and shooting him. Now, I'm going to put it this way. Where I was out tonight, some lady and guy said we told Pete he was doing all this for his daughter to get everything or one of those girls with her. And that guy went out and married some other girl. There's no reason to say a word. We're going to start having a little conversation about having a backbone, having a brain cell, and be a U.S. citizen. I want you to start having a brain cell and acting like a U.S. citizen and have some pride and have a brain cell. You know, people have said, well, her husband at the time hired him. He can't hire someone to take me naked. He can't sell me on porn sites. Have you lost your fucking minds? He cannot hire a drug cartel to break in and roofie me, tell me say something stupid. And then have those men beat and rape me and leave me covered in bruises, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out in a severe swollen personal infection. And I didn't leave my home. And I'm waking up and I'm like, I don't know what happened to me. And I don't know what is wrong with me. And how did I get those bruises? How would I even have got them? I kept saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. I got marks on me that I can't explain. Maybe you're becoming anemic. Do you know how bad my muscles hurt? They had to give me muscle relaxers because I was in so much pain from being beat. And I could hardly go to the bathroom from my personal infection because it was so swollen from being raped, and a migraine headache and my heart's racing, and they're trying to treat the symptoms, not realizing somebody's breaking in my home and violating me on every level. I want you to understand, I would look at everybody and tell them I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm so sick, and I'd go to collapse, and then I'd be fine like a day later. Do you understand? Then it would happen again, and I couldn't understand because they were using amnesia drugs. That guy that walked out and was saying that stuff, there was Muslim women. Oh, in 18, they showed up outside Ravenna, full hijabs, headdress. They worked for the king, and they were to keep an eye on me. They were up in Bedford. They were in Canton. They were outside Oakland apartment. They were on 13th Street. They were out in Warren. He was having people watch me. He was having people watch me in Macedonia. People were talking about him in Canton and North Canton and Louisville. Everybody knew about the king and then that other guy that was a prince doing this. They're both in jail. Now I want you to think about this. Tonight, people were saying, everybody knows where that FBI agent Will, that was part of this, because he's a dirty cop, helping them get away with this. People are calling him dirty names. They should have been calling him dirty names and went online and reported him for allowing a human being to be horrified, publicly raped, publicly tortured, and sold. Some guy walked up and said, people are calling Will a child molester. See, it's not just the teenager that are calling him that. Him showing all those videos to us, and even kids, I didn't think about it. How could you not think of him as nothing but a child molester? He's showing pornography to children of real rapes and real tortures. I want you to think. That's where they were getting all their drugs. Do you know that guy, they offered him to let him see, today, a guy to see those videos? He said, why bother? I already know she's framed. Why don't you people start telling them that? Because they already found on, let's see, Thursday up in Akron, the tape of them admitting the shower scene was done on purpose to make me look weird, and the other one where retired Judge Pete ordered everything to be drugged and photoshopped and made up on me. They've already confessed in front of the police, and the police has already taped their confession, because what part of my God, I had an FBI agent in my office you didn't realize. And you guys all know I had the police watch me. And they have recorded everything from drugs and told to say it, meant to framing me, meant to photoshopping that shower scene on purpose to make me look weird, and to photoshopping other things. And they made everything up on me before. The drug dealers laughed in everybody's face, including mine. They were doing it to me even before, where I didn't know what was wrong with me. And for you to even not be furious that a drug cartel is down here drug beating, raping people and selling it online and passing it out to all you people, and you're not furious that some drug cartel's doing this to an individual, you want them to do it to you, right? Huh? And I'm going to tell you this, you guys need to stop having the slave mentality. A slave mentality that men own women. They don't own women. Women have as many rights in the United States as a man. Everybody in this United States has the same rights. And no man can hire another man to stalk his wife and then have him take pictures of her naked, put them on porn sites, let alone photoshopping. That's part of sextortion. And then allow men to break in and stab her with date rape drugs. Tell her to say something stupid or roofie a drink when she's out of the room. And tell her to say something stupid so she's sleepwalking. And then beat and rape her, and the only thing she knows is she's throwing up and she's got a mark on her. She didn't even know where she got hurt. And she's throwing up and her personal area is infected. And she doesn't remember anything after taking a drink and felt dizzy for a second. Do you understand? That's why they call them date rape drugs. You're sleepwalking. You should have been outraged. Anybody would pull this trying to steal something someone had in life. Think about that. Think about that. Oh, that one lady in Trinity Gospel, that agent already stole the money. Everybody knows Will stole the money. He opened that account. And, oh, some guy tonight, we know everybody's calling Will dirty words. We didn't know they were drugging her up before. Bullshit. Bullshit. That agent told on me the night before to Apostolic Church of Barberton, and he told him he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and he didn't care. And he tried to use Strange's lie of the thinking you were sick and thinking you got well while that family was grieving. He threw me out because he thought I caught his son in adultery, and it was my sister. My sister Linda is married to Strange's son Tim, and Tim was committing adultery for over a year. Part of the church already caught him because they go to public restaurants. My mom, my sister, and Linda went off on him. It's a stupid thing, and she went and confronted him. It's like you already know he's cheating, but she kept following him. Stupidest thing. She got caught in October. I got well in July. See, today also, because my phone's tapped, I sat there and gave a statement of how I got sick and how I got well. Well, a lot of people scattered. Someone showed up and said, they all heard what was really wrong with her and how she got sick, and then how she got well and how long it took her. Nobody finds this funny. Exactly. That bastard made it up in October. I got well in July because Linda came up to me. I was following him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. And she ran off. I'm like, great. Well, 4 days later, Strange made up that lie. Got rid of me real quick. Discredited me. But it blew up so big. He just kept saying it, and then he kept changing it, just like Dave White blaspheming God and tried to kill himself. He only switched churches. He lied on everyone. Now, I want you people to realize, even tonight, people are walking around me. Some fentanyl king pulled this. And a bunch of con men. And a bunch of human traffickers. Everybody turned him in, and that agent being messed up with that. The drug cartels flipped sheriffs here in Ohio, and they got arrested. They took $100,000 from them to flip them. Now I want you to think about that. A federal FBI agent is no higher than a local police officer. They're just cops. Just different branches. Do we understand? Everybody turn him in. Yeah, that idiot saying we didn't know. Bullshit. That agent told that church. I work up in Akron. The people on that street, we went over to that church. He did tell all those people at that church that. Cops seen him. Tell on me before I called him back. My ex told my son that he talked to him when I walked off. Up at that church. With his own confession of mocking me for Pete, Dave's hired hitman, his girlfriend's dad, and his drug friends that he hired on his own. Confess that one too. You can't hire someone on their own. You can't have somebody cyber stalked. You can't have them sold. They should have been arrested the first day. Fourth Amendment of the house. Nobody can be in your home. If the police or agents do it, it's entrapment. The only time they can be in your home is protected like custodies, but statements in a court order. They can't even legally look at it. Even Officer Reinhardt has said it. Portage County Sheriff's, Ravenna Police, Massillon Police. It's not admissible what they got. Exactly. I talked to someone that used to work in the prosecutor's office in Stark County. It's a fraud scheme. They can't do any of it. They made the biggest mistake they did in your home. See, that got two agents laughing at me for the rapist. That is how they're framing me. And I don't even know who it is, and stop, she don't know. That they had, some guy named Pete was doing it, and they didn't arrest him. And they're laughing at me, and I don't even know who Pete is for a year. I still never talked to him. On a recorded line. You can't touch anything with a conflict of interest either. And retired judges are just equivalent to everybody else on the street. They're retired. They're jack shit like Joe Smo. They have no authority. And they can't just go around breaking in people's houses and to be hired to. And stalking people and selling people on porn sites, let alone having them drugged, beaten, raped. Huh? Now, with them finding that tape of the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird with yourself. Huh? May 26, 22 were mocking me. Cops got it. They found it the other day. And the other ones that didn't have it, they found it. And they found in, what was it, March or April, I started in Navarre at a client's house, of a house before, my car spot. They found it too. Of retired Judge Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. They had that. People were talking about Eric's confession, how he made fun of everybody tonight around me. Huh? How they made fun of, for all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people trying to make fun of her, they were even talking about Lighthouse making fun of John. They found the tape of them making fun of John for this. For FBI agent John fell for the stunt tapes before. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent actually fell for stunt tapes before and they were only a stunt? You're kidding. They basically spit in that man's face and flicked him off, and they stopped following me after that. They were talking about him making fun of the feds. They've even talked to Trinity Gospel. We all know they made fun of the feds for this. Yeah. They're that arrogant. They think they have the cartel. Do you realize? Do you know one of the guys said that he had ties? No, he could have just been a scammer saying he had ties into Tariq Islami. He's into Al-Qaeda. See what I mean? They even yelled at these people, you better not have ties into Tariq Islami. You go to jail for that shit. You go to jail for being part of this shit, too. See where they say, oh, we can't say blah, 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 blah. They could never say a word to me. See, you don't understand. They violated me. They violated my constitutional rights. They broke in my home. They were hired. If you hire a hitman to harm or kill someone, it's 10 years. If you illegal monitor somebody, it's 7. It's cyber stalking. Huh? At the least. You drug somebody? We're into kidnapping and drugs and attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. You have somebody raped and you sell it. It's sex trafficking videos and human trafficking. They have life in federal for opening their mouth to a police officer. And the confession. The victim is not in trouble for being roofied and photoshopped. Would you all act like you have a brain cell in your head and a backbone in your back and act like U.S. citizens and tell that drug cartel they're not funny pulling the stunt here? Do you know how many thousands of children have died because they didn't stop him here 5 years ago? And I have been publicly raped, tortured, and human trafficked. And people mock me. And then they tell them they photoshopped everything. They told them they framed me. They told you they date rape drugged me and told me to say stuff. And they were beating and raping me in that house before. And you guys aren't mad that some drug cartel did this to me. Do you want them to do it to you? Start acting like you got a brain cell in your head.